All right, guys, and we're live. Welcome to another episode of Foreign Domestic. Appreciate everyone in the side chat showing up. It's rocking and rolling already. Got a few people here with us so far, and hopefully more people will jump in here pretty soon. I know Chico's on the road. So, Alan, you want to take off, brother?
Absolutely, absolutely. We've had a few people out in the side chat. I have no idea what the participants list looks like, other than Budget Gun Cinemas, Chico Wise, Fu Master Chew in full Fu Master style, Jet 001, V Borg out there. The list goes on and on. Um, Slim Cowboy, Primal and Outdoor Skills, Big Al out there with the 14. I guess I don't understand the reference there. That's probably as many Tinder chicks as he's been with. I don't know. Um, and yeah, C4 Defense was out there for a little bit. Seven Wonders was out there. David Bowling. We have had a few people out there that I don't know are still here or not. Alaskan Ballistics, for some reason, he's trying to join us at work. That's not very wise. We're not very PC compliant. Not a good place for small kids to possibly hear. But other than that, that is the current participations list.
Awesome, good deal. All right, we got Jamie. What's going on, brother?
Just glad to be here, man. Thanks for the link. Thanks for having me. Thanks to all the people in the chat room showing up. Good to spend some time with you guys, Daniel Gottsman and Mr. Allen. Good
Awesome.
to be here.
Good deal. Daniel?
Well, hey there, Jamie, Alan, and Scotsman. Thanks for having me on tonight. Yeah, I haven't really been posting too many videos around. I just, has been working and sleeping, taking naps, hugging trees out in the woods, and today I delivered some baby goats. And guys in the chat, let's get her rocking.
All right, good deal. You had something happen today, did you not? Special event?
Oh yeah, got two new kids in the house, literally. My wife's doe goat had twins downstairs, and now they're in the bathroom in my bedroom. Had two little boys.
Very cool. Very cool. Mike's out there. He's trying to get in. He's got to download Chrome, so he's working on it. But we should have Milsurp Mike here tonight, so that should be good.
Excellent, excellent. Always dig Milsurp Mike. Josh Ben Ware's jumped out there. Zorro, the one, the only Zorro has jumped out there. Walter Davis has jumped in with us. Joe has jumped in with us here. Trying to get my scroller. Joe has jumped in. A gun-loving Grandpa Stanley has also popped in as well. So I know you've talked a little bit about it there, Scotsman. And we got a couple of gents here in Ohio, but apparently the governor was trying to stop your ability to defend yourself and not have to run, but that got vetoed. What's the story with that in Ohio?
Yeah, so wonderful Governor Kasich was trying to veto the stand your ground law passing in Ohio. Thankfully, he got vetoed. So we now have stand your ground law, and so rocking and rolling with that. He still wants to try and put a red flag law in the state. God, hopefully not. We don't want that here.
So everybody just remember, if he makes another bid to run for president, he is not 2A.
Yeah, because I think he's planning on it. I really think he is. The way he's been acting and the stuff he's been doing, I'm pretty sure he's planning on it.
You know who else is talking about it? Former mayor of New York City, Bloomberg. Saw him early this morning on the Beat the Depressed. And he's talking about running for president. Talking about he's going to make a decision quickly.
Well, PC Bullet Empire out in the side chat wants to know why the bearded CB is wearing the Scotsman shirt.
Good people look alike.
What's up, Mr. Emperor?
The Emperor himself, Josh Benware.
Oh, I thought the Emperor was PC.
Yeah,
Bullet Empire.
he's out there.
He is. He's outside there.
What's
No,
up, Josh?
no, you look like you could probably like put on a robe and a crown and look like an emperor of a small, Turkish country.
Turkish?
I-
Man.
I think he looks like that. I think he kind of looks like that guy is on that last Star Wars movie that killed his father.
Luke?
No, the other guy, the other lead man. The bad guy that killed his dad on the bridge.
Do they all kill their fathers in that movie? I just don't pay attention to it.
I don't watch that nerdy crap either, so I don't know.
Say that
How's
with
it
a British
going there,
accent.
Josh?
Do it?
How's it going? How was your Christmas holiday?
Oh, it was pretty good. Celebrated New Year's last night because I'm going to be working on New Year's Eve and New Year's. So had some fun last night. And I had a little bit too much fun. I know y'all put me on a live chat. I don't know if we were live or what was going on, but I had to end up getting off. But I had too much fun last night. So I woke up this morning to check my bank account to make sure I didn't buy anything online or anything stupid or anything. And turns out I'm now a monthly sponsor of St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So, hey, I guess I'm a nice drunk.
Very much so. That's absolutely awesome.
I don't even remember that at all. I mean, I slightly remember like looking at the TV and trying to type the number, and it took me like 6 times because I was so drunk I couldn't even press the numbers. But how y'all doing?
Well, we're doing better now that you're here, and you're in a lot better shape than you were last night. I will compliment you for that.
Yeah, you were pretty tore up last night.
I was on my way right when I talked to y'all. I wasn't even there yet. But
I hate to think it got worse.
huh?
I hate to think it got worse.
Oh man. What were y'all doing last? Was it like a Jeopardy type deal, or I kind of remember something like that.
Yeah, we were playing Civil War Jeopardy.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Rich 1911 or whatever he's going by these days, Curvy Road. He's been doing Jeopardy on his chats for a while now. And who did that originally come from? Did that who started him doing Jeopardy? Do you remember, Scotsman?
No, it's been so long, man. Heck, he's been doing that for probably 6 months now.
Easily.
It's been a long time, so I have no idea.
Yeah, and I heard, being how it was all about the Civil War, that Jamie took every single category. He ruled it. Absolutely ruled it. I understand the man was 35 years old when it happened. But to be able to remember all those facts, that's impressive.
Now, when Alan says he was 35 years old when it happened, you all need to understand. Jamie was born on a leap year.
I love you, Daniel. Man.
And we also have the
Milsurp Mike. What's up, brother?
Hey, how's it going? Not quite sure how to use this thing yet, so I'm still learning it a little bit, but how's everybody doing?
Doing good, man. Glad you can join.
Now we can see it.
doing absolutely awesome. And I had no idea you were going to be on the chat, sir, but I still got one of my favorite hats on.
Yeah, I'm glad to see you're still wearing that Fort Scott Munitions.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
That was this hat was acquired through a giveaway that Milser Mike sponsored, and I was the benefactor of thereof. And I'm glad that you got the SKS out of bump fire mode.
Well, I'm still having some problems with that. I may actually have to give him the Hugo Mauser because I put a Murray spring pin in it. Now I'm punching primers. So,
Wow.
So I'm either going to need to check out a Hugo SKS that I have and give that away, or give away my Hugo Mauser, because this Norinco is turning into a nightmare.
I'm sure he'll be fine with either one. And you can always, if you don't have his number, just shoot me a message and I'll talk to him.
I have his number and address and everything. I actually called him as soon as he won it. So
Cool, good deal.
Scott's good people, man. I enjoy him. He's a good brother.
Looks like Daniel got power back in the house.
Yeah, Jet said I looked a little creepy sitting in the dark. It's because I couldn't find my hat, and I didn't want to, the reflection to, blank out everybody.
We have had George the Rebel join us out in the side chat. Phil M. Rivers, AOK Forging and Adventures is out there. Yep, it's still having people jump in on the side chat.
still trying to figure out how to make that show up here.
Well, if you're on your phone, you have to do something completely different. But if you're
on the computer,
if you're on Google Chrome, you have to actually go to the video play screen like you would be jumping into watch it anyway. And if you do that, make sure you mute the playing screen.
So, if I could be so bold as to ask a question, you said Josh, when he came in, looked like he could be the sultan of a small Turkish village, whatever. Have you guys seen these shotguns that are being imported from Turkey? They have some really nice wood on them. I was just wondering what your guys' opinion of the Turkish shotguns are. If you're familiar with them, or
I don't actually own any kind of Turkish shotgun, but from what I understand, the shotguns coming out of Turkey are smooth operating machines.
I know they're very reasonably priced, and I was wondering if anybody's held one, shot one, owned one. What do you know about them, Scotsman? Anything? Very reasonably priced, and I was wondering if anybody's held one, shot one, owned one. What do you know about them, Scotsman? Anything? Very reasonably priced.
Okay, so
I got it. Actually, some of those Turkish ones are actually real nice. They do a really good job. I've honestly, out of the ones I've seen over the years, I think I've probably sent one or two back. That's it.
Yeah, they make some really high quality ones out there. I've seen them when I was out there deployed.
The wood on them.
We've got Bald and Fabulous with us.
Hi, Benali.
So what's so different about the Turkish shotguns? What's so special about them, or what's the deal about them?
Well, the ones I've seen have had very beautiful woodwork on them, and they're not very expensive at all.
Oh, okay.
Those are canics of the shotguns.
Canics?
Yeah, like a pistol, the canic, it's cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically
Yeah,
same thing with the
canic.
shotgun.
Oh, the canic of shotguns. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, there's TriStar that they do some. There's a few other companies out there, but they do a really good job.
Although
Whatever happened to?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Aren't KSGs, aren't they Turkish?
Yep.
No, KSGs are not Turkish. KSG is made in America. It's Caltech.
Caltech, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Caltech's made in good old USA.
Whatever happened to that revolver shotgun that came out? What was it, like a year or two ago at SHOT Show? It has some revolver shotgun.
Well, depends what you're talking about. I have a Judge Rossi. That's a 410 shotgun with 45 long Colt.
No, I'm saying like it was like a 12 gauge full, like a long gun, and it had a revolving chambers, like a revolver, but it was a shotgun, and it came out. And I believe it came out in SHOT Show like last year or the year before, but I never heard anything from it since. So I don't know if it was just like some prototype that never made it, or if anybody had heard of anything about it, or knows anybody that owns one, or what. It looked pretty cool.
I don't know, but I'll check it out if it's at the SHOT Show this year or next year.
Yeah, Bald and Fabulous, you're doing SHOT Show this year, correct?
Well, there is a current plan, but there's a couple of personal issues involved. But bottom line, I'm doing it. I might be single after SHOT Show, but I'm definitely doing it.
You gonna go out to the machine gun shoot out or wherever that range is out there?
No, I mean I'm gonna go for the media day on Monday where you get to shoot the guns. I mean, supposedly it's kind of a shit show because you get to stand in line and fire 5 rounds, but you know what else you're gonna get to put your hands on a brand new firearms and being able to shoot. So I'm gonna do that, and then hopefully at least 2 days at the actual SHOT Show. I mean, from what I understand from everybody been telling me, the guys that actually go there, it's really overwhelming. There's like too much noise, too much going on, and it just, it's like imagine going to a gun show and this being 100 times bigger. So, it's pretty tiresome.
Yeah. What is it, like 3 floors of miscellaneous? You know, you've got the full on booths, and then you've got the all the high dollar like ridiculous, you got to be rich as fuck to own anything on this floor. And then there's like the swap meet floor where everybody and their brothers up there, but there's a lot of like startup businesses that grab booths up in that area.
Well, I can tell you this. I toured the SIG factory a couple of weeks ago, and that was like a unique experience. I mean, I just put on Instagram a short video. They have like a glass booth when you walk in, and that's like the only place you can take pictures of the videos, simply because of the manufacturing process and whatever. But it's the factory itself and the whole tour. The tour was about, I'm gonna say about 2 hours. And it was awesome. I mean, the way to see the way they actually make the guns, how high tech it is. I mean, I kid you not, you can eat off the floor at that factory. It's not like, in your mind you picture a gun manufacturers and you picture all these machines and like a metal shavings on the ground and oil. None of that stuff. It's like as clean as it could be. Highly. What's the word? A lot of robots. I mean, people basically all they do is they assemble the guns and test fire them. I mean, everything else is done by CNC and the robots. Even the sanding, you got this arm that grabs the slide and sands it this way and this way and this way and this way, and puts it back. It's awesome. And the best part, in the middle, they have a firing range where they test fire every single gun. And any day they have anywhere between 5 to 7 million rounds of ammo on site. So that was like, holy crap. And through the actual facility, they have this big tube running across. It's about probably 5-6 feet in diameter, and that's 100-yard indoor range. They actually have a machine on one end that rolls the targets, and they have a booth on the other end where the guy sits and gets to fire P08s, AR-15s, whatever, and test fire them at 100 yards. It was really awesome experience.
That is absolutely phenomenal. That for sure is a facility that I want to tour one of these days.
What was it? Where was that?
6 Hour in New Hampshire.
Oh, okay.
And this was like a semi-private tour. It was only me and another guy, and a Max Michel.
What state are you in, Bob?
I'm in New York, unfortunately. The only good thing ever came out of New York was Donald Trump.
How you doing over there, Mike? You getting it figured out?
I think that would be a no.
Sorry about that. I'm trying to. I think my camera's just blinking on and off.
Oh, we gotta start a GoFundMe for Sir Mike, get him a decent computer.
Well, I've had this thing since February of 2009, I believe. So,
That's your problem.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
That's your problem. You know, the Microsoft, they put like an expiration date in those computers.
Well, getting Windows. I really don't want to get Windows 10, so that's why I've been kind of sticking with this old hunk for a while. But
so, what are you running? Windows XP?
Windows 7.
Don't feel bad. I'm on Windows 8 still, so.
Well, I kid you not. I have a desktop up in the closet that runs XP, and I pretty much guarantee if I go fire it up, that thing will still run no problem.
Does that computer have a hand crank on the side of it to get it going, or
It's just a bunch of ones and zeros all over it.
takes like 3 minutes for the screen to become green?
I can't see his side chat. Anybody actually watching this?
Oh yeah, they're out there.
40 folks watching. Thanks for
Holy crap!
what's out there.
Someone's bringing up the P10F and the P10S, and I'm actually interested in the P10S. But I mean, what do y'all think? Do y'all think that they're going to have to work out the kinks whenever they come out with the P10S, like any other gun, basically work out the kinks for the first year? Or do you think because it's just going to be basically a little bit shorter of a P10C and a little bit shorter of a handle, that they won't have any problems because they already, it's basically just going to be a smaller P10C? What do y'all think? Do y'all think it's something you should wait for a year on, or what do y'all think on that?
I generally, on any new gun, I'll wait at least 6 months.
Yeah, I usually wait a year. I mean, SIG has proven that this year. I mean, I know Bald and Curious has had good experience with this 365, but there's a lot of stories out there about bad 365s out there. So my rule is usually wait a year.
I'm an impatient guy, so if there's a new gun coming out, I want it. I don't care. I don't care if it works. I don't care if it doesn't. I don't care how much it costs. I want it. And you know what? Probably that's why, like 365's got a bad rap, because all these guys, all these big channels, they really wanted to get their hands on it, and they probably got like early production models or whatever, and might have a bad luck. That's probably the reason.
Yeah, I haven't seen any 365s come back yet. Where I'm at, they sold a lot.
I recently saw a thing from Honest Outlaw that is based out here in Iowa, and he was talking about the P365, and when it very first came out, there was a number of different issues. One of the issues is that there's a spring that's dragging on the inside of the magazine.
Yeah.
And eventually that spring wears and breaks. And he can see wear on the inside of his magazine. Another one of the things was a striker drag. So you look at your fired brass, and you can see where the striker hit and dragged off of it. Guys were originally having more problems with the 365s actually breaking firing pins. So those were the known problems, but I think SIG has addressed them because you don't hear about those issues anymore.
Yeah,
it
all
was
of
like
the-
the very first
all of the
production
Dell
runs.
that have shipped in the last 2-3 months, all those issues should be corrected.
I actually asked the guy that was in charge of the tour. That was the very first thing I asked him about the 365 and the firing pin and all that crap. And he did say that they did have a problem with the injection molding parts they were getting because they changed the supplier. He did say that a SIG supposedly announced it or SIG rep announced it on one of the social medias. I said, well, it's really, I never heard it, so apparently you didn't do such a good job announcing it, that you did have a problem, because well, the biggest issue that people have is not that the gun has a problem, but that the SIG is hiding it, is saying that there is no problem, when they knew there was an issue with the firing pin and all that, which, I can see why people will be pissed about that. I personally, I just wanted a gun, and I love mine. I probably close to 2,000 rounds, no issues whatsoever. There's a review of the, what is it, Four Guys Guns or something like that. They have they have a P365 that they use at the local range as a rental gun, and they have like a whole lock of the ammo that they used, and that gun's got over 11,000 rounds without an issue. So take it for what it's worth.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of mixed stuff, but when it very, very first came out, it was like the first batch was having those particular issues. I'd be interested, Bald. Next time you have that within your reach, check your magazines and check the back side of the magazine just to see if you have any markings like back here on the side of the magazine.
I did. There's no markings. I do have a primer, the primer drag on pretty much every single round, but never seemed to be an issue. And to be honest, I saw Glock 22s with a primer drag. So I really don't think the actual primer drag is like a huge issue. But most of the small guns, real small guns, mouse guns, which 365 is right there with them. I mean, if you look at it, it's the same size as a 938 or 238, so it's a really tiny gun. Most of those guns do have a prime drag, and that's just because how small they are and the whole timing process and whatnot. And if you're really that concerned about that, you can buy aftermarket firing pin that's machined, not MIM. If you're really that concerned. I mean, like I said, I had nothing but a good luck with my gun, and that thing has been in my truck or on my person ever since I got it. I mean, I pretty much have it with me or in my truck, wherever I go.
How many rounds do you have through it so far?
Close to 2,000 rounds. Every time I'm out there shooting, I always load a couple of magazines and just pop a few rounds just to get it going, and I've been running it pretty hard from the beginning. And yes, I run my reloads, but I don't really run wimpy reloads. My reloads are pretty stout, so no issues. But like I said, that's my gun. I'm not saying every single one is like that and whatnot, but you know what? If you buy a gun and you put 1,000 rounds through it, I'd say you're good to go.
Yeah, I had one customer that sent it in twice and still had issues, but other than that, I haven't seen anyone come back and complain or have any problems with them since.
I've seen guys coming to gun store that are law enforcement complaining about the Gen 4 Glock. Oh, I just got it. The firing pin broke after 200 rounds. Oh, the sights fell off, this and that. It's just, the thing is, it's not Glock is a Glock. Everybody has it. You know, there's so many of them out there. Not everybody reports if they have an issue. You know, the 365 was a new gun. So you know what? Everybody that had a bad experience went out of their way to make sure everybody knows they had a bad experience. It's like any business. It's so much easier to get a bad review than it is to get a good review. You can have 10 satisfied customers and only one of them actually gives you a good review. God forbid there's a guy that, for whatever reason, you left a mud in his driveway and he wasn't happy about it. He's going to go out of his way to smear you everywhere, you know, whatever he can. So it's just a human nature.
I think SIG kind of had a target on their back too because of the P320 debacle, and then also there's a lot of butthurt over them getting the military contract. And I mean, I've tested out, you know, compared the M17 versus the Glock 19. I do think the 19X is the superior gun, but I know there's a lot of butthurt over that. So SIG's also kind of had a target on their back too over the last few years.
Yep, that's true.
Daniel's got a mean streak, y'all.
Yeah, he's coming after me in the side chat.
Hey, you know, I didn't want to interrupt y'all while you're talking.
Hey, but no bullshit. That Glock 19 Gen 3 that I traded for that CZP-10C, I had 15,000 rounds through it, and they still gave me $400 store credit for the trade-in towards the P10C, plus 10% off the P10C. So
yeah, that was cool. And the video you did. Oh, here's the son's home. The dogs are barking. The video you did shooting to show the comparison with the groups. That was great.
Yeah, it was a good video, Josh.
The grips.
The groups.
The groups.
Oh, the groups. I thought you said the grips. Oh, you're talking about with all the different types of ammos, all the Underwoods and Gold Dots and HSTs and all that, right? No?
No, comparing the two guns.
Oh, wait a minute. My bad. That was Dirt Road comparing CZs to Glocks.
Oh, okay.
I think Daniel's just picking on you tonight.
Yeah, I know what he's doing.
Well, Walter Davis out there says, honestly, how many rounds will a Glock fire before a real problem? And you know, that you can have one pistol come off the line that is absolutely flawless and will go after, and then the one that came off the line right after it can't get out of magazine. Everybody always brags about how Glocks are like this most reliable, dependable thing on the face of the planet. I've experienced otherwise. So it's just like anything else that comes off of a factory production floor. You could have one great unit and the unit right next to it is a POS.
Yeah, my buddy had a Glock 22 and that thing couldn't make it through 50 rounds.
It was short.
Well, I guess he was done with that statement.
The Glock reps cut him off. We're being censored by Glock.
Well, I'm going to say something that might get me kicked off of here. We went to the range, and I've told y'all before that I have nothing against Glocks because I've never shot one. We went to the range to shoot. Scotsman was there. And I was going to get my turn to shoot a Glock, only it didn't make it down to my turn. I mean, seriously. And we had, failures to eject and failures to feed, Scotsman?
Yeah, there was all kinds of failures. All kinds, and Kyle was trying to make excuses. As usual, that's what a lot of people do, make excuses.
Well, it's a mechanical thing, so you know what? It's like it's gonna break. There's just moving parts and whatnot. The whole issue with the Glock. There's so many of them out there. It's like a Mosin Nagant of pistols. It's just so many of them, and people, you have people that had it since Gen 1. And I have a customer that has a Glock. He bought a Glock when they came out. He never shot a damn thing. Never. That thing is still new in the box ever since they came out. A lot of people buy them, shoot 20 rounds, and oh yeah, that's the best gun ever. I never had an issue with that. And they shot 20 rounds. And there's a lot more people like that out there than there is a 6 feet 365 owners. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I agree with what you said earlier, Bald, about human nature. When our expectations are not met, we tend to gripe more, raise more fuss. But when we get our money's worth, when we're satisfied, we don't really, that's what we expect. So I guess that's what it boils down to.
So does the moderator have some structure for tonight?
There's no structure on this chat. You should know better. We're not on rich chat. We don't do Jeopardy here. We don't have any of that crap.
Okay, I have a question to all of you. Or more like I'm curious. Yeah, because I'm bold and curious. Sovereign citizens. I love watching the videos, What's your take on it? Like when you have a guy, like I was just watching a video, the guy pulls in the parking lot, or actually the cop pulls him over. He's in a car, no license plate. His rear window is painted and it says Earth is flat. And when a cop asks him for his license and registration, he hands him this piece of paper, and he says, "Oh, I'm not driving, I'm traveling." What's your take on that?
I've got a couple of different perspectives on the whole sovereign citizen thing. I too have watched plenty of those videos simply because I love to laugh at them dumbass fuckers. I think it's hilarious in one aspect. In another aspect, I think they just need to haul them stupid asses off to jail right away. They're wasting law enforcement's time. Law enforcement could be doing other things like catching robbers, thieves, rapists, and not have to deal with this SOB that just doesn't want to give them their name or whatever. There's a certain amount of civility. I understand standing up for your rights, but those guys take it to a completely different level, and they create almost a hostile environment. On top of that, most of the time, they're referencing laws that don't exist anymore. Create almost a hostile environment. So it's rather difficult to.
Holy shit! Where's Chico? It's spaceship.
That's Chico Wise.
Hi, Chico.
The whole
the dirty sauce.
Southern Style says it in the side chat. The sovereign citizen thing died with the Civil War.
Jamie, is that true?
As far as I know, yeah.
Well, Alan, it just 2 days ago I was watching the sovereign citizen stuff, and I came to the conclusion is you have alpha males, you got beta males. Now these beta males, since it's no longer politically correct to beat them up in high school, this is what you get.
Okay, let me throw you a curveball. Okay, now never mind the sovereign citizens. How about the ID refusal? When you're walking down the street and a cop asks you for ID, you got all these different things. Or for example, down in Texas, you got all those immigration checkpoints or TUI checkpoints. Like, what about that?
I think it's unconstitutional.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, that's sovereign citizens. I understand what they're about, but they also have to understand that they are traveling, but they are traveling on the roads that are paid by the taxpayers, and therefore they have to pay by the laws. If they're traveling on the side roads, then so be it. You don't need no registration or whatever. But if you're on a highway, yeah, you need a license because that's that's the law. But
I just think that a cop needs before a cop pulls you over, they should have a reason. I don't like DUI checkpoints. I think Antonin Scalia was wrong when he wrote the majority opinion that safety trumps liberty there, basically. I just disagree with it. I mean, I work late at night. Usually I'm working right now, and on the holidays and stuff, I'd like to be able to drive home from work without making a left turn into check, your papers, please, Soviet Russia. But I understand what you're saying too. The sovereign citizens that you see online are jackass.
Did Scalia actually write that up in the brief?
Scalia. It was I forgot the name of the case. It was in the early '90s. I believe it was the state of Minnesota versus somebody versus the state of Minnesota, and Scalia wrote the majority opinion where safety trumps public safety.
That goes completely 180 degrees from what Benjamin Franklin said in the Federalist Papers, that you give up, your liberties for safety, soon you will have neither.
Well, you kind of have to pick your battles because here's the story, okay? Last year I was coming from Farmageddon, and a little day before my wife had to put our family dog down, so it was like, I was driving for 13 hours straight. I mean, I literally stopped by to take a piss and just kept driving. I drove through DC with a truck full of guns, no issues. Where do I get pulled over? 20 minutes from my house. I stop at the traffic light. There's a car behind me. All I can see is a car. It's dark. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. The light turns green. I move. He puts the freaking sirens on, pulls me over. Okay. Now it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm tired. I've been driving forever. So it's like he comes over to a car, and yeah, I could be a smart ass. I could tell him what's the matter, officer, this and that. But you know what? He came in as a nice guy. I mean, he said, "Oh no, good morning, blah blah blah." License, registration, and we do not have a duty to inform the officer that we carry a gun in the state of New York. But since every gun that we do own is listed on a permit, and I have about 50 of them, those cards. I keep a couple of them stapled with my registration and my insurance. So as I was reaching for that, I handed over. He saw my pistol permit, and he's like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "That's my pistol permit." Like, "Oh, you have to tell me that." I was this close to telling him that, no, I don't, but you know what? I'm going to get home. So I was nice. I was like, all right, I'm sorry. But long story short, he never even ran my license. We just wound up talking about guns. I understand why he pulled me over. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. I was the only truck on the road. You want to make sure I'm not drunk and all that. But bottom line, he did not really have a right to do that, especially right after the traffic light. But was it worth battling him over that at 3 o'clock in the morning after all that stuff when I just want to get home? That's debatable.
Well, yeah, and that's part of the thing is, debating an officer on the side of the road, it ain't going to get you anywhere. Ultimately, you're going to end up having to debate in court if it ends up having to get that far. So I personally don't give officers any flack when I get stopped. I understand there's plenty of asshole cops out there that are doing completely improperly things. There's certain things that I'll be against. But I don't have the duty to inform as well in my state. I still do. Before that cop even gets up to my window's down and my hands are outside of the window so he can see my hands, because I want him to walk up knowing he can not only see my hands, but that there's a reason why I'm doing that. I'm going to diffuse that officer before he gets happy with stupid shit. And it's worked every single time I've been pulled over. They're just, oh, well, okay, then just don't reach for it and I won't reach for mine. And I've watched the demeanor of a cop go from this to this. I've watched their complete demeanor change, because a good guy is going to tell you, I've got a firearms permit and I have a firearm on me. A bad guy won't.
Not only that, you also want to kind of let him feel that he's in charge. Like my son just turned 18 not too long ago, and he's a big guy. Scotsman met him. He knows he's a big dude. He's bigger than me. And I keep telling him, you get pulled over, you look like a threat. I mean, as soon as the cop pulls you over and you can barely stick your head out of the freaking window, you're a threat. So you do everything that he tells you. I mean, I don't care what happens. If you get arrested, whatever, you do whatever he tells you. I'd much rather pick you out of jail than go freaking identify you at the morgue because you made the wrong move or whatever. You know, you got some kids get all these freaking hyped up ideas, and I kind of keep trying to push him into it. You're a big guy, but do not act like a big guy. Act like a small guy. Let him take a higher side. I mean, we have courts. We settle all this shit in courts if whatever happens. Yes, it's gonna cost money. Yes, it's gonna be problems. But you know what? That's the way it works. End of story.
Yeah, that's good advice, man. Because your kid is pretty tall and pretty.
Yeah,
big.
I keep saying, just be respectful, be polite, know your rights, and you know what? If he wants to search a car and you refuse, he's gonna search it anyway. So I mean, no reason for you to get tased and whatever. You know, let him call the dog, let him do whatever he's got to do, and we'll address it at the court if we have to.
So
I don't know. Never give consent. That's for searches. I don't know. I'm of the opinion never. If they ask you, because if they really believe you're a threat, they will find some way to get there. But if they ask you, never give consent. That's
absolutely. I'm not saying give a consent. But what I'm saying, if he's going to bring a dog and he's going to say, oh, the dog points that you have the drugs or whatever, get out of the car because we have a probable cause. So what are you going to do? Fight the cop? No, you know he did whatever he did by the book, and you know what? I'm still not consenting with the search, but you know what? You do what you have to do. That's the bottom line. And that's actually, I don't know if it's every state, but I believe in New York. If they like pull you over and you do not give a consent, and they're gonna say, "Oh, we're gonna bring a dog to search the smell, whatever," I think there's a time limit, like 20 minutes or something. If they do not get it within the time limit, you can just tell them, you know, come on, you know, this is ridiculous.
Now, would you ask them once the dog shows up if that's a drug dog or a bomb sniffing dog?
No, you can't. There's no way for you to know. All you can do is ask for the badges and name of the dog and whatnot. I mean, on the side of the road, that's not the time or the place to argue.
No, I wouldn't. I was saying to argue. I was just asking because I'm thinking if they bring the bomb dog and you got a truckload of guns, they're going to signal positive because of the gunpowder.
yeah. And that brings up a thought to me. Chico, do you know if we're required to show our permits when we're stopped?
We are not required. It is not a requirement in Georgia. I will not inform an officer. A lot of you guys know I work with the police every day, and that I've had them tell me that's the last thing that they want to know when they're asking for our ID because it makes them so damn nervous, especially the younger ones. Can y'all hear me? Is my microphone muted?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, and the other part to that too is especially make sure if you do inform the officer that you say firearm and not gun. Guns are like a trigger word. You know, you gotta watch what you say.
I had nothing but a positive experience every time I told them I have it. I mean, I got pulled over while I was on my phone. And the first thing I did, I had him license and a CCW, and I told him, yes, I have a gun on me. He asked me, what is it? I told him it's in center console. He's like, all right, just keep it there, no issues. And then we just talked, and he's like, well, you were on your phone. I was like, well, I was just checking my time. He goes, oh, okay, I can see that. I was like, well, drive safely. He was a nice guy. I had the same thing happen in Connecticut. I have a Connecticut non-resident, and you do not have to inform them there as well. And I got pulled over because I wanted to make a U-turn in a one-way street, which I did not know it's a one-way street. And same thing, the guy pulls me over. The first thing I did, hand him a license, hand him a license to carry. And he's looking at it. I was like, yes, I do have a firearm on me. And he's like, okay, no problem. Just what is it? I'm like, center console. I was like, all right, just keep it there, no issues. Same thing. I rolled the windows down, had my hands on a thing, and he was really polite. He was like, I appreciate it. I appreciate you letting me know with a warning. So, on the other hand, I think especially that 99% of the time you get pulled over for a moving violation, you get pulled over for speeding or whatever. I think you starting off with something like that might ease up the cop and kind of being more friendly. I mean, not always, but I'd say majority of the times.
So knock on wood, I've never been pulled over since I started carrying. Knock on wood.
Scotsman, you know the laws here in Ohio pretty good. Because is it right that, I mean, we have to inform the policeman if we have a CCW license that we got to let him know if we have or if we do not have a firearm at the.
We have to inform. Yeah, it's tied to our driver, to our tags and that, so they automatically know when they run it. But the minute they pull you over, first thing you inform and let them know.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Even if you don't have a firearm on there that day, just say, hey, I have my permit. I don't have a firearm on me. Because as soon as they run your plate, they're going to know you have the license to.
Yep.
But it's better just to inform them and let them know, hey, yes, I do, or yes, I don't.
Same thing in New York. Ever since the SAFE Act, and we have to not because our guns, our pistols, the license is issued by sheriff's department, but we had to do the whole thing with the state now, where we had to register the guns with the state. So basically, state troopers know, like a sheriff department pulls you over, he doesn't really know if you have a gun or not because they do not have an access to a database. But if the state trooper pulls you over, he knows right away that yes, this guy has a pistol permit.
Yeah, I'm all for respecting the police and stuff, but I don't give them any trouble. But then again, I'm trying to leave just like I got pulled over. You know what I mean? For instance, just like Scotsman said, I got pulled over, and I work with the police every day. I got pulled over, and they automatically know when they run your plate if you got a carry permit. Now, I had not been pulled over in 10 years, and everything's been going on in the world as crazy as it is. When the officer walked up, gave me my license, he said, you have any firearms? Oh, no, he said, you have any weapons in the car? And I said, yes, sir. And he was like, where is it at? And both my hands on the steering wheel. And I said, it's in my center console. I kind of like did my head like, it's in my center console. And he was like, all right, just leave it there and it won't be no problems. And I'm like, you might think I'm damn crazy or something. Like, so I kind of understand their, some of them concerned, because there's some idiots out here that's carrying guns. I've had police tell me that they pull over women, and when the police walk up on the car, the woman like, hey, I got a gun. And he'd be like, man, put that shit, you know what I mean? I'm like, man. So it's some idiots out here, but I try to respect them. I do respect them, not try. I respect them, the utmost, because at the end of the day, I'm trying to go home to my kid, you know what I mean? If that makes sense to you guys.
Well, I'm pretty sure that your interaction with the police, Chico, came this way. The cop asked you, do you have any weapons? And you said yes. And he told you, you better, you freaking 120-pound wet.
I don't think he's 120 pounds, man. He's like maybe 90.
Nah, I tell him, hey, man, Chico rides from the dirty South. You ain't know that? But, I mean, I'll be the first to say, just because I work around them, man, they got a rough job, and they deal with a lot of BS, you know what I mean? But then again, you chose that damn job, you know what I mean? So it's certain stuff that's going to be expected.
Yeah, but even them, it's not the same job it used to be 10 years ago. Now with all the cameras and everything, I have a friend who's a state trooper. He's actually a viewer. He's a really nice guy. He contacted me through YouTube. We wound up shooting together about 3 years ago, and ever since then, every year I just got it in the mail as well. I have to give him a shout out if he watches this. He sends me the little sticker that you put on a window. And
the blue sticker?
Little sticker, yeah. And actually, it helped on the occasion. State trooper pulled me over, asked me, who do you know? And I dropped a name, and he's like, well, all right, drive safely. So, it's got its perks.
Yeah, it does.
Especially when you're a YouTube celebrity like me.
Yeah, I got pulled over once, and you know how they automatically know. It's like the hands are up on the steering wheel, and it say, "Yes, officer, I got my CCW," and yes, I am. He just goes, "That's fine. You don't pull yours out, and I won't shoot you with mine." And we had a good laugh, and no ticket in the end. And he
Yeah.
just said, "Thanks."
Milford Mike mentioned something that I do want to point out is at any point, if there's no justification for them to be searching my vehicle and they request to search my vehicle, I have said before in the past more than once, does it really matter if I give you consent or not?
It does.
And I've been told, no, it doesn't. We're going to search it anyway.
Yeah, but if
Both times.
yeah, but what it is it's not about. Let me put it this way. I tried to explain my kid. It's not about that what's in the car because you know what's in the car. But let's say you give a ride to your friends, okay, and one of them has a pot in a bag or whatever. Something happens, you get pulled over, and it stashes the shit between the seats. Okay, now it's your problem. Now it's your problem because if it does searches the car, now if you refuse to search and whatever the hell happens, you always have an option that search will get thrown out in a court. So you do not give a consent. Yes, they're gonna wind up search the car anyway, most likely, but you still have that little ounce of chance that shit will get thrown in a court. God forbid there's something in the car.
Yeah.
Now, if it's your car and you're there by yourself and you know there's nothing in there, yes, okay, I still wouldn't give them consent just because of the principle. But if you're driving with the friends, you never know.
But then is it then considered probable cause because you don't want me to search it because you have something in there. So now I have probable cause that you have something in your
that's not the
because you're telling me I can't search it.
Probable cause, the definition of the probable cause is reasonable suspicion. You refusing is not a reasonable suspicion.
If they had probable cause, they wouldn't ask.
Yeah, it's just
correct.
Exactly.
That's where I was going with that. Is the fact of the matter is if an officer feels that they have probable cause, they're not going to ask you. They're going to have your ass sitting on the curb already in cuffs.
It's like Chico showing up in upstate New York. He's a black guy in a white neighborhood, and the cop's going to see him and he's going to say, "Spread him." Like, what the hell? Come on, that's like racial profiling and every goddamn thing you want to pick. I mean, that's everything but constitutional. So it's the same story.
Now, Bob, don't y'all have that stop and frisk law up there?
Well, they had it in New York City, but I don't really go to New York City. New York City is like a separate entity. I'm not sure if they still have it, to be honest. But yes, that shit was like
yeah, that's crazy too. Yeah,
I have my friend's son was at the subway station, and he had the pocket knife, and the cop came over and he saw the clip, and he just threw him against the wall, pull out the knife, and he was able to flip the knife, like open it with a flick of his wrist, and that's illegal. Arrested the fucking guy on the spot. Kid had so many freaking problems because of stupid shit like that. New York City is like you do not. I hate the fucking thing. You know what? If they really want to level it, let them.
Good to be in a free state.
Well, you know what? There's free states and there's free states.
Yeah.
You got
Shit happens everywhere.
Pennsylvania around the corner. You can have all the guns you want, all the suppressants, this and that. But you can't walk in the beer and soda distributor and buy 2 beers. You got to buy 36 of them. And you can't walk into a convenience store and buy freaking 2 12-packs because that's against the law. So every state's got some stupid dumbass laws.
I agree.
Well, and something else to consider too, like around here, I don't know, Chico, you may be able to respond more on this, but I've noticed like with my black coworkers in a DUI checkpoint, they get messed with more. And I don't know if it's just the Platte County, Missouri cops. But I mean, I have a coworker who has a concealed carry, and he gets messed with a hell of a lot more than my white coworkers who have concealed carry do. So I don't know.
I mean, you know what? Everybody on this panel is grown, and even in the side chat. Now, you guys, you kind of got to know that people with a darker tone skin, we kind of do get messed with more. But, you know, the respect, even though if we're right and they're wrong, well, I'm always trying to survive my encounters with them, you know, and I work with the police every day. But I'm always trying to go home to my kid, you know, so even if I'm right and they're wrong, there's a place for that. You know what I mean? I can request supervisors. I can file complaints against the officer, but you know I'm not submitting none of my rights to them. But I am being the utmost respectful citizen as I can be. You know what I mean? Whether they know me or not, I kind of know a lot of the police in my area because you know if they pull me over, I'm like, oh, you know this car I work on all the time. You know what I mean? Because that's what I do. But yeah, stuff does happen. I've been pulled over with my buddies, and the damn police are asking me. I'm in the passenger seat. They'll ask me for my ID, and I'm like, I'm not driving, man. You know, and another car pull up, and I'm like, shit, here we go with this shit. You know, and so I'll end up giving my ID because I'm trying to comply, but I'm not trying to do all that extra stuff, and you know, I'm not trying to argue with them because they got you on the side of the road. That, like Bob said, that ain't the time to be damn arguing with them.
Well, I understand you want to argue with them, but I just like I have black coworkers that you know one had a concealed carry, and like they gave him the runaround, and I just thought it was wrong, and he did everything properly. You know, I mean he was, he's polite and everything, so.
Well, there's always going to be some kind of racism going on, no matter what it is. It's like, you know, if you're only white guy in the middle of the Harlem, you're going to get freaking harassed. You know, if same goes white, or no, the other way around. It's just a human nature. That's all it is. You know, I mean, you can teach your kids, try to pump into them, don't see the color, this and that. But at the end of the day, it's just, you know what? It's just the world we live in. I mean, we can do the best we can.
There's always going to be that one shitty cop out there too that just had a shitty day, and you're the only lucky sod that got pulled over.
Yeah, and you never know what's going on with him. Maybe he's late on the mortgage. His wife ain't doing him good. His kids fell in damn grade school, or you know. And I ain't trying to push nobody over that damn edge when they got me on the side of the road and it's 3 a.m. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Want some coffee? You know what I'm saying? All that shit. I'm trying to be super nice. But me, I like all you guys. I'm racist against everybody equally because everybody weighs more than me. So, you know.
Oh, the way I'm looking, I'm no racist. I hate everybody equally.
Right.
Yeah, I hate people.
Yeah, everybody's equal to me though. You know, but the world we live in, I mean, what can you do? Just make sure I do what I'm supposed to do. I treat people the way I want to be treated. And
oh man, Mario Moses giving me a hard time, you know, looking like a Mr. Clean. Like he's got a head full of hair. Like what the hell? You're a freaking Mexican, Mr. Clean. What the fudge? You know,
Mario's good people.
He's giving me a hard time.
At least we can understand Mario.
No, you can't. Not when he starts cursing.
He does get excited.
Yes, Mario, I can shoot a revolver. I can shoot a revolver real good. Go check out my video when I called the freaking Yankee Marshal out. I shoot that shit real good. You'll be surprised.
He's into 1911s now.
Who?
Yankee Marshal.
Oh, I don't know. He was bitching about the other day about this guy, the Wrangle Star, the guy from Texas, whatever. And I watched a little bit of the video and I commented like, you standing up in front of the camera bitching about some other channels doesn't make you a gun channel. Guy never replies to anything. He doesn't care about YouTube. He only cares about a Patreon. You know, if you got 2,000 Patreon supporters, each of them pitches in $2 or $3 a month. Do the math. That's all he cares about.
I was going to say a while ago that there was a time down here not very long ago. If you saw two relatively young guys, one of them black, one of them white, riding around in a car together, they're fixing to get stopped and the car's going to get searched because they were of the opinion that if there was a black guy and a white guy, there was drugs in the car. So Chico will tell you that's not been that long ago.
Yep, it happens. Yeah, it definitely happens, man. But like I said, at the end of the day, I'm trying to go home too. I'm trying to be super nice. Yes, sir. You know, sometimes the yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, that goes a long way. That eases the cop, you know, because I see those videos where Bald is talking about those sovereign citizens, and they got some big balls. I couldn't do that. I'm just telling you, that's just how I feel. I can't do that. I can't be arguing with a cop and trying to give them a reason. I seen videos that go for 30 minutes and they stand on the side of the road arguing. I'm like, boy, you come down here to Georgia with that, it might not be too good for you. With the way these cops are, you know. But I mean, you got good cops and bad cops, or not so good cops rather, you know. But
I don't know. I still think when you get pulled over, the cops like, damn, can you see over the steering wheel, son?
Yeah, I tell them, hell yeah, man. You want your car fixed or not? You better let me go.
Let's see if
to sit in your car with your window up going, I don't need to roll down my window. I don't need to give you a driver's license. I'm not driving, I'm traveling. I mean, how much stupidity are you going to actually deal out? You know, you have to have a license to operate a motor vehicle in this country. Upon request from a law enforcement officer, you must display said license to said officer. That's the law. This isn't so, you know.
Well, you're forgetting one thing. You're forgetting one thing. On the public road. That's the key word. On the public road. When you're on the private road, you do not have to have any of that shit.
Well, I see these guys don't have no tag on their car. They driving with no license, and when they get pulled over, they telling them they traveling and all of this and all of that. And I just happened to come across a video with the county that I live in, and the guy tried that, and they bust his window and got his ass up out the car. And so go figure, you know, take it how you want to take it. I'm like, that shit don't work out here where I'm at. So.
Now, when you're watching those videos, do you see anybody that's pulling the sovereign citizen stuff look like anybody that's on this panel? Or do they look like a bunch of little losers? You know, beta.
Well, there was one guy that looked like you.
Well, I was on drugs and I was coming back from getting my vasectomy.
He called himself the Dark Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is absolutely absurd to me, the things that they try to get away with. And then at the point where they're getting ready to be handcuffed, they're just crying like little freaking babies. I can't get arrested. My mommy's going to get mad at me. She's making me cheese puffs tonight. I can't miss that. It's hilarious. I have to admit. I find it pretty hilarious. I think it's a complete waste and travesty of law enforcement time and effort. But I don't understand the difference between driving and traveling. If you're operating a motor vehicle and you're doing this to control the vehicle, how are you not driving? How is that traveling?
Well, I'm pretty sure what they do is they go back to the old laws before we actually have interstates and whatnot. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but we did not need a driver's license till like 1950 or something. There was no license. I mean, back then you just buy a car and drive it, but there was no real roads. There was no interstates. There was no like a public roads and whatnot. It's a different story. So I understand their point, which is okay, but you're using a public road paid by the taxpayers, so you have to obey by the rules. If you don't want to obey by the rules, fine, go use the side roads, use the private roads, drive through the whatever the hell, all the dirt roads in the country, I'm pretty sure you'll be okay on there. But you know what? You're driving on a goddamn asphalt road that my taxes paid for. You have to obey by the rules. End of story.
Well, if there's no reason for you to be pulled over, they shouldn't be pulling you over. I mean, they should have a reason to pull you over. I mean, the Constitution's there to limit government against us, protect our rights, and I mean, there's a lot of Fourth Amendment violations. Now, I understand you don't get the constitutional argument with the cop on the side of the road, but I mean, that's something we should.
If you don't have a plate, if you don't have a license plate, and you got a big sticker on the back window that says "Earth is flat," and your license plate said, "I'm not driving, I'm traveling," you're getting pulled over.
Well, yeah, we're somewhat talking about different things, but still, I mean, when we've talked about interactions with cops too, and I mean, it just in general.
Well, let me tell you this: you get pulled over in Europe, you're paying a fucking fine because there's no courts. Cop is a freaking judge, jury, and executioner right on the spot. He pretty much gonna tell you this is what you did, and this is how much you're paying, and you can negotiate with him. Okay, I don't want to pay $200. How about we'll bring it down? I'll pay $100 and whatnot. That's probably the best you can do. But you're paying a freaking fine right on the spot. There's no courts. There's no court days. There's no jury. There's none of that shit. He's right there, and he's telling you, you did 60 in a 50. That's a $200 fine. Done.
So you paying the cop? Is that what you're saying? You're paying the police officer that pulled you over?
Yep, absolutely. And back in the day, you could tell him I got no cash and whatnot. Now they have a fucking credit card machines right in the goddamn car.
What if you don't have a credit card?
Then you fucked. They're gonna drive your ass to freaking ATM to get the money out.
That's right. Yeah, that's.
And if you really don't have it, and here's the thing: if you really don't have any money, they'll give you a ticket, and let's say you have 30 days to pay it. If you don't, the judge will issue a warrant, and the guy would show up in your house and say, "Okay, you owe $200. Your TV looks like it's worth $200. We'll take your TV, and we'll sell it at the auction."
That's why we have a constitution.
If you get stopped down here and you try to pay the cop the fine,
you're going to jail.
Jail for bribery.
You're going to jail, buddy.
I know there's certain places in Kansas. If you get pulled over, you have dark skin and an accent, you have cash on you, they'll use that civil asset forfeiture against you real bad. In Oklahoma, if you have like prepaid debit cards, they'll empty those out, because they're saying you're using it for nefarious purposes.
Well, apparently the Constitution didn't travel so far.
No, but it should protect you.
Yep, I agree. It should.
And it might in court, but it's not going to do you any good on the side of the road talking to a cop.
All right. So before we go any further, let's do a quick gun check, and then I got one topic. So we'll start with Alan. I'm pretty sure I know what you got, but Alan, what you got, brother?
Well, yeah, you probably pretty much do. The CZ Urban Gray P07 and the Gray Ghost pistol sitting next to me here, pretty much running lean and hot and just doing a great job. Put another couple of 100 rounds through her yesterday, and I mean, it's just handling it like a champ.
Awesome. Good deal. Good deal. Bald and fabulous.
Right here. I got a safe right there. Does that count? Right there. You see that? Big motherfucker right there. Other than that, I got my pistols right here.
He's also got a son that's twice the size of him, so he's all right.
Yeah, so hey, he's in the next room. So you know what? It's like I'm good.
Unless, that's your safe standing over there. I thought your son was standing there.
No, my safe is over here.
Yeah, but I thought that was your son.
Yeah, well, he's close in size.
He's built like a safe.
Chico Wise.
Yeah, I'm
Got
packing
Dirty
the
South Black?
PO7. Dirty South Black edition, y'all know. Limited edition. You gotta order these. Special order.
Daniel?
Oh, well, I'm packing the DeWalt staple gun because I needed to pin up my targets at 40 yards when I'm shooting it with Shadow 2.
Nice.
Very nice. Very nice. Jamie?
I've got two right here by me tonight. I have the Smith & Wesson 586 6-inch, and it's loaded with some hollow points. And I have the CZ75 BD.
Very nice. Very nice. Josh, you got anything on you?
Same as always, CZP10C loaded with Underwood 147 plus P plus.
I'm so proud of you, man. I really am.
Plus P plus. Holy shit, you're like a Yankee Marshal.
All right, Mike, what you got on you, brother?
Got my Glock 19X with Fort Scott munitions, Fort Defense. Then I also have I have 3 safes worth of guns over there too. So
There you go. Cool. Good deal, man. I got my.
And you couldn't go open the safe and get something other than a damn Glock.
Yeah, you show up here with a Glock. You can do better. You can do better than that. You can do better than that. I got the M9A3 with me tonight. I also have, just like Daniel, I got my Shadow 2. And just to throw a little bit more salt in the wounds there for you, Alan, because I know how much you like it, I got the 97B as well, my 45.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love the lines on that thing.
And, of course, I got the old 357 and the Harry's holster on my hip. All right, so New Year's coming. What do you guys have either planned for the new year, or what are your first couple purchases going to be in the new year?
Now, you gonna put some parameters on this? Is it? I mean, does it have to be firearm related or what?
No, it can be anything. It doesn't matter.
I'm gonna jump in real back, okay? You made me go get up and open my safe. So here's my Wilson Combat Classic, accompanied with a 40th anniversary CZ75.
There you go.
Ooh.
Pew 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 pew.
Boy,
Look
look at that 75. Oh man, that thing is sexy.
It is. That thing is a nice looking gun. That's like they did an awesome job. There was only I think 1,000 of them made.
Did you put some type of polish or something on that? Man, that thing is glossy.
No, that's I haven't touched it. This thing is completely stock. That's how it comes. It comes in like a case, like a special case with the papers, and even I don't have the magazine, but even the magazine base plate is all pearly and polished like that.
Yeah,
boy, it's like you could
beautiful.
reach in and grab that bluing off the steel. That is just sexy.
It's amazing.
Yeah, well, there you go. A gay guy wants to reach in and grab stuff.
Here you go. Since you made fun of my Glock, I went over to my safe.
There you go.
Okay. Wait, give me a second. Give me a second.
Do you think they're
Apparently we got who's got the bigger gun tonight.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Milser Mike's busting out the freaking gold deagle here, so if you don't kill him with the rounds, you just smack him over the head with it.
So there's a little preview. The video's coming out. Okay, this is a New York legal version of that thing. Mine's a little shorter than yours, Milser Mike. I'm a mad enough to admit it. This is only
Oh.
5-inch barrel, and it's under 50 ounces.
Yeah. How do you think that's going to affect the make more recoil since it's lighter? Or
Oh, you got no freaking idea. This thing is a handful. What's yours? 50 AE?
yeah,
Yeah. Well, it makes a handful. Yours is like, let's put it this way. Yours, 50 AE out of yours is like, maybe 44 Magnum
yeah.
compared to this. It's like, this is a handful. It's so much lighter, so much shorter. It makes all the difference in the world. But you know what? That's the only way we can get it. So here's what it is.
You're going to be doing the bill drill for Pops?
Yeah, eventually. I don't know, because to be honest, this is the most unpleasant gun to shoot. It's a freaking handful. I mean, it doesn't, the video is already loaded. It'll go out in a couple of days. It doesn't look like that on the video, because I even shoot it one-handed, but it's
Well, here, let me tell you a little secret about shooting those. Do you have a 500 Smith & Wesson?
No.
Oh, we'll take those out in the same outing. That Desert Eagle will feel like a 22.
No, I think I have to thin out the herd because it's like too much crap. Might have a few of them for sale in the next future.
Okay, so who's answered Scotsman's question first?
What was the question again?
I
will open up the gates. Back here behind me, something that I acquired yesterday, I'm not sure how well you can see it, is a bass guitar and a bass amp. I've been a guitar player for 30 years. And yesterday I went out and I picked up a bass and a bass amp. So one of the things that I'm looking to do this year is to actually learn how to play a bass guitar.
Very cool, man. Very cool.
Awesome.
Chico?
Yeah, I think can y'all hear me? Well, I see some people saying they can't hear me. But what I plan on doing, I'm gonna try to get into long range shooting. So I'm searching 308 a bolt action rifle, but as oddly as it is, with this big damn press I got behind me, I'm buying a whole bunch of these because I don't want to run out of them, or I don't want nobody to kind of limit them what I can get. So I'm talking about maybe 10,000 of them, so I won't be without them. Because it would suck if I got a press and I can't load ammo with no primers. So I think that happens every year around a certain time that they get scarce. So that's pretty much it.
Cool, man. What manufacturers you looking at for the 308?
I don't even know, man. I'm probably gonna find one second hand. After is hunting season over, Jamie?
Not yet.
When hunting season gets over, my local pawn shops gets full with bolt action. So I've been looking at what is it? Savage and some other ones. Jamie's let me know, and even Josh Benware has let me know about some good ones.
Stay away from Remington.
Savage and Remington, right?
No, stay away from Remington.
Oh, stay away from Remington. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. Go with Tika, man. Get a Tika T3.
Okay.
There's a whole bunch of rebates out there right now too, just for you, because I know you're a deal seeker, brother.
Right.
There's a whole bunch of rebates out there.
Yeah, that's definitely what I'm gonna do. I'm not opposed to buying a used one, from somebody who's trying to get out of the hunting sports or what, and it's all kind of deals. You guys know I'll sniff them out down here.
Yeah, that's for sure. Daniel, what do you got, brother?
Well, advice for Chico. You said you work on cars, right?
I do.
That's what half the mechanics here get when they fix somebody's cars. People pay them off in handguns and rifles.
Yep. I've dealt like that before. So you'd be amazed on the stuff. Yeah.
Now,
Chico, what cars you work on?
All of them, whichever one pays. I work for my local county, so I work on all the police cars, everything my
Oh.
county owns.
Yeah. Crown
But
Victorias.
Oh, so
Yeah.
okay, you work on junks.
I work on it all. You know, it don't matter. Because we've got a lot of people don't know. Most counties, if you got narcs, you know, I mean, we're a drug county. We got a lot of drugs in our county. They've got undercover cars that's probably just like your truck bought, and we've got $70,000 cars that's been confiscated that they put the police in to ride around. So yeah, I work on all of it.
I just bought myself a treat the other day. I found a used 2006 BMW 750 Li. That thing is like goddamn, holy shit. I love that thing. And it only had 70,000 miles. I picked it up for like, I don't know, 500. It's got a couple of codes that come in, some bullshit things, but holy crap. That's why I'm looking for like a mechanic that knows something about Beamers. Maybe he can help me get rid of the codes. But
It's going to cost you a ton to get it fixed if you ever have
I'm
problems.
not bringing it to a deal. There's nothing wrong with the car. It only has 7,000 miles. I did all the background check on it, the Carfax and all that. It's all legit. It's just like a parking sensors and bullshit.
Yeah.
I drove that thing to Maryland.
Find somebody who specializes in European imports, and that's going to be, you know, BMW, Mercedes, Volkswagen, Jetta, all that, because they're going to have software on their on their laptop or their scan tool. And mine pretty much is just got domestic and foreign, but it's a lot of mechanics. We do side work. That's how I fund my habit, my gun habit. You know what I mean? All the side work.
A few years ago, Bald, I owned what was that damn thing? A 325i. And I discovered that it actually got far superior fuel mileage at 85, 90 miles an hour than it did at 60.
I tell you what, that 750 is a V8 4.8, and I drove it down to Maryland for freaking 5 hours, hauling gas 80 miles an hour on the freaking highway, and it was still doing 20 miles to a gallon. It gets better gas mileage than my 6-cylinder fucking truck.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just because those cars are designed for the Autobahn or what the hell the deal is, man. But I was getting better fuel mileage at much higher speeds.
Not to mention that 750 is heavier than my truck. That car, it's a car, it's a sedan, weighs 4,400 pounds. My truck's only about 35 or 36. It's ridiculous.
Your Dodge is only a 6-cylinder?
Yeah, I made a big freaking mistake, and I bought that 6-cylinder instead of a Hemi. I got talked into it, and never again.
Yeah. Next time, make sure you get a Hemi. You won't regret it.
No, next time I'm buying a diesel. That's what I want. I want that 1500 diesel, and I've been like playing a couple of dealerships around here, but I'm cheap. I just don't want to dump the money into a truck because I beat on those trucks big time. No, it's a work truck, so there's tools in, shit in, and all that. And it's just, I don't want to spend that kind of money on the truck. I'm gonna beat on.
Before I got my Dodge, I had a 2001 Duramax, and that thing kind of got the diesel bug out of me because that first year Duramax had problems with injectors and the way it was built, you had to take the heads off to replace the injectors. So that's why I said I was just going to put a decent amount of money into a gasser. That's why I got this Dodge. I've had it for 4 years now, and I love it.
No, the Ram diesel, the 1500, is basically a Fiat. They say it's a Maserati, but it's a Fiat. So that engine is proven from Europe. You get a decent gas mileage out of that. I mean, you can easily pull almost 30 miles a gallon on the highway. And I don't think I heard anybody bitching about them yet.
Scotsman.
Yeah.
My New Year's resolution is never again give advice to Chico because and it ends up derailing your total topic.
Not good, man.
Sorry, Scotsman. To answer your question, probably by the end of this week, we're gonna have a newborn in the house, so that's gonna curtail what I'm gonna buy for a while, because I mean, I'll be working
Pampers.
less. I'll be working less. So right now, I don't know what I'm going to buy. What my next purchase is going to be. Like I said, we're going to have another newborn in the house here by the end of the week.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, man,
Congratulations.
that's awesome.
Yeah, and I have to say, keep your cool if you ever catch the guy. I'm just saying.
Yep.
That was cold. Funny,
Yeah,
but cold.
it was good. Damn good timing too. Josh, what you got, man?
Well, I mean, I'm thinking, I don't know, I'm just thinking about it, but I'm thinking of maybe getting the Zukov stock on my Saiga, because AKs are typically front heavy, and I figure if it's has somewhat of a heavy stock, it'd probably make it more of a balance, but I don't know, that's probably bullshit. I'm just making up theories in my head. And then my other Glock 19, whenever I could find the CZP-10C with the white melanite slide and flat dark earth frame, I'm gonna get that. But I'm not much of a gun collector, so I don't have like a bunch of guns that I want to get and shit like that. I just get stuff that I like to shoot a lot and get good with that specific gun. But other than that, my wife has wild hair up her ass to start traveling a lot and going to Vegas and all sorts of shit this year. So I don't think I'm gonna be spending a lot of money on guns this year. I think we're gonna be traveling a lot. So
Just tell her go to Vegas on November 26th. That's all. January 26th. I'm sorry. And you can catch a shot show while you're at it.
that'd be nice, but unfortunately we'll be going a month after that. So, and I'm not a vendor. Well, actually, I could probably get in as a vendor with the company I work for. So,
How are you getting in there, Val? How are you getting in there as a content creator or
As a media.
media?
Yep. Hey, listen, nobody can resist this sexy accent.
Oh, good God.
Yes,
with that,
nobody that's deaf.
So, Paul, what else you got going on this coming year? Obviously, you got SHOT Show. What else you got going on? What guns you got on the list and stuff like that?
To be honest, I have no idea. I don't really plan that far ahead. I know I want to kind of thin out the herd. There's too many guns in the safe. I don't use them, so I might sell a few and maybe get another competition gun. Other than that, no real plans, to be honest. I mean, with the Kali key that they sent me, the thing that turns the AR into a bolt action, that kind of opens up like a whole new thing into AR build. And I was surprised how much positive feedback I got from that thing. I had people from Pennsylvania buying a bunch of them after my video because turns out the Pennsylvania's got some kind of hunting law that you cannot use a semi-automatic gun or something for whatever. So a guy basically bought a couple of these for his 300 Blackout and a 458 SOCOM, turned them into a bolt action, and now he's good to go hunt with them. So that opens up like a whole new market for me. And I'm still debating and trying to figure out how to build 80% Glock with all these stupid laws we have. But that might be another thing that I might actually own a Glock again.
Well, that's one thing with the 80%. You don't actually have to buy a Glock. There's so many aftermarket stuffs out there that you can basically create a clone that's far superior to a Glock.
Yeah, unfortunately, it still has to go with my permit. Otherwise, it's a felony, and that's like mandatory 4 years.
Ugh.
Yep, New York sucks, man.
Yep, no argument there.
Jamie, what you got going on?
Well, I'm looking at a lever gun and 357 Magnum, so I'm going to expand the pistol rounds into a lever gun for one thing, and I'm toying with the idea of starting gunsmith school, either online or at night over the weekend. So I think when I retire from my job, I'm going to retire full time into gunsmithing. A lot of my friends keep giving me stuff to do now already, so I just need to get my FFL and get my diploma for gunsmithing, I think.
That'd be cool, man. Yeah, you did an excellent job, but like on that stock you worked on and that, you did an excellent job with that.
Well, thank you, sir. I worked long and hard on it. I got this little thing right here. A friend of mine gave me. It's Charter Arms Undercover 38, and it locks up when you pull the trigger. It kind of locks up the cylinder, so it's going to work now that we're talking about it. But yeah, it's out of time, and it's out of time bad, so I'm going to have to order some parts for that gun.
Yep. Cool, man. That's awesome. That should be good for sure. Daniel, what you got, man?
I told you not to give Chico advice anymore.
That all you got? You got nothing else?
Well,
How about not to give advice, period?
Unless it's about goats.
yeah.
How to
Well,
make baby goats.
if you don't know how to make baby goats yet, yeah, Val. Hey, Val. By the way, we named them after their daddy.
Yes.
Yeah, Boris. And
Yeah, I've read your comment.
Brutus.
Nice.
Now I'm going to pay off my all my gun debt, so I'm just a few hundred away from that.
So
As
then
long
you're
as you didn't make the goats
Work
both
hours
computers.
away from that, or
Sorry, what was that?
a few hundred work hours away from that, or
Oh man, when you work in a gun shop, it never ends. I don't get a paycheck. I just end up with more bullets.
pretty much the last job I had before the last one I had, I literally bought one every month.
Hmm. Yeah, because I'm looking at a Ruger AR 5.56 in 450 Bushmaster for deer hunting.
You don't need that.
Oh, deer hunting?
Nobody needs a 30 rounds to kill a deer.
No, you just need one. But it just looks so badass.
Yeah, they're pretty nice. I've seen them. I sold one to a guy not too long ago. It was pretty cool, pretty nice. It's a good round.
One thing I found out about the Ruger AR 556 is that if you want to change out they kind of have a proprietary bolt carrier group in there where it's neither semi-auto or full mil spec. So be aware of that if you change things that need a mil spec bolt carrier group. I found that out the hard way when I put that Echo trigger in mine. That's just one thing to keep in mind with the Rugers. It's a weird proprietary BCG.
Oh, you changed the trigger in yours.
Well, I put the Echo trigger. I put that Echo trigger in
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, because I was saying because they came out. I mean, they're right out of the box with a 4-pound trigger.
That was my cheapest AR, and I didn't want to put it in my Daniel Defense. So
yeah. Gotcha.
All right, so we're almost at the 2-hour mark. So I guess we'll just go ahead and end it here. Everyone's getting pretty quiet, so we'll start with Bald and Fabulous.
Why are you picking on the wetback?
Someone has to.
I gotta ask you there, Bald. The new room attire. What's going on with that? That's
Those are my tri-fire targets. And I switched the computer sideways because on this side I have a spare mattress because in a month or so my sister-in-law is supposed to come visit with the whole family, so I'm gonna turn this room into a bedroom for them. So I had like a whole king size mattress that I had from whatever the hell I had it from. And those back there, I actually do my dry fire practice from way over there. I have a small, little tiny targets over there as well. You know, those are like 1/8 of the full size target because the room's only 15 feet or so. So that's this is where I dry fire. I put my gear on and I try to work my kinks out whenever I feel like it.
Don't lie. That mattress, you're just bringing your work home with you.
Exactly, yeah. I go to mattresses. But anyway, thank you very much for inviting me. This is I haven't been on this chat once or twice only, but I figure I'll try to make it since it's the last one in 2018. Which brings me to interesting fact. Do you guys realize that the next year is gonna be most likely a last year in our lifetime that ends with teen? And I'm just gonna leave you with that.
Pretty much.
The last time in our lifetime that ants will pee?
With teen, like 19, 18.
Oh.
You're a jackass.
And 10 points for Josh. Good job.
So whenever, because like I remember in the 90s, people were like, "Oh, come on, man, it's the 90s," you know, and then the 2000s, it's like, and now in the teens, it's like I don't know what the hell to say anymore, and then in the 20s, we're gonna be like, "Oh man, it's the 20s, come on, keep up with the times." It still feels like 1920s whenever I say the 20s, you know. I mean, just when you refer to it, I don't know, it's weird.
Were you alive in the 1920s too?
No, but anytime someone speaks about oh, too, yeah.
I thought me and Daniel were the only ones that old.
All right, Chico. Yeah, man.
Oh, nothing much, man. I'm about to start switching my press back over to 9mm because I'm getting low on my 9mm ammo, and that's it. Hope everyone. Well, thanks for having me. I hope everyone has a happy and safe New Year, and I'll see you guys in next year.
Cool. Thanks for showing up, brother. Daniel, what you got, brother?
No, I've got nothing but sarcasm, but thanks for having me on, guys, on the panel. Been great. Side chat, rocking it as always. Thank you.
Yep. Cool. Thanks, brother. Let's see, Jamie.
Yes, sir.
What you got, brother?
I've got 2 loads of 35 Remington loaded up, ready to go to the range, test them, and we'll be done with preliminary testing. Then we'll start fine tuning the 4 or 5 best powders out of the load series. Hoping to get the lever gun in 357, start doing some 357 load development. Let's see. I've got to do a video for KFW. Tag me in the winter carry versus summer carry thing. Right now, I'm setting at 199 subscribers. So if any of you guys want to go subscribe to my channel, you'll be the number 200. And
put your link up so I can go.
I want to.
Type something in external.
All right, I'll do that. Let me just thank Scotsman for having me. Thank you guys for putting me with an old Southern guy with a thick Southern accent, and I appreciate the side chat and just a great time every Sunday night. Thanks, Scotsman.
Yep. Thank you, brother. Much appreciated. Let's see, Josh, what you got, man?
Shoot. I was thinking of I had some ideas for a video for catfishing Alan, and but they were going to be a little bit too disturbing, and I didn't want to traumatize you guys. And
there is no such thing. So basically, on this giveaway, so this is for Alan for his 1,000 sub giveaway. or friends and family, as we call you guys, there's no rules other than make it as bad as you want to make it. So literally, dude, if you want to terrorize us, okay.
Nah, dude, you're gonna fall in love with Josh Arella, and it's gonna screw you up. And then seeing Battle Bean with a blonde wig, and oh my god, it was gonna get bad. So I don't know. I think I better ease up on it. But no,
Well,
thanks for having me on.
There's been a couple of really, really good VRs on that giveaway.
Yeah, Milsurp Mike's
one to turn one out, and he really kind of set the bar.
Yeah, Milsurp Mike's was pretty good. That last picture with the
really low.
Yeah, that last picture with the where you could see the silhouette of the dong hanging between the legs. That was like, oh my god.
I don't know. Feinstein saying that this old gun grabber wants to grab your love gun. That's pretty scary too.
Yeah, that's scary. But no, man, have at it, dude. Fucking tear it up. Tear it up. Have fun with it.
Dress up, Josh. Put a wig on.
Dude,
Seriously, man. If you see, here's the thing, and I said this in the video. For anyone that actually dresses up, they'll get bonus points. There's gonna be.
Dude, I don't want y'all hitting on me on the chats after y'all see that video because.
No. Here's the thing, man. I didn't say what the prizes are going to be because I don't want people just to do it just for the prizes. But the prizes are going to be pretty freaking awesome. So trust me, it's well worth your time and well worth your effort.
I'm not dressing up. I might dress down.
Is that even possible for you?
Yeah.
Don't encourage bald, because the next thing you're going to do is going to be putting coconut butter on and wearing a banana hammock.
There you go. That's an idea. You know, actually, most of the males in Europe wear a banana hammock. I kid you not. I mean, there's nothing more frustrating than seeing like a 50-year-old guy weighing 300 pounds with a big-ass gut in a banana hammock.
And what kind of sweats does he have?
Who cares?
Does it have Adidas stripes?
Yeah, there you go. Adidas stripes on the banana hammock.
Shit, we had family from Germany come down, and we went to the beach, and shit, they just started taking off, like, literally all their clothes. They just took off all their clothes at a normal public. It wasn't a nude beach or anything. They took off all their clothes. I was like, y'all can't do that.
You get arrested in Texas for that.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, what you got, man?
Well, I'm hoping for this kid comes that I can get out one more time, go shooting. Hopefully have enough footage for a couple more videos. Got a couple more ideas for videos, but I know I'm pretty much going to lose all freedom here for the next 3 months after this kid comes. So, but anyway, thanks for having me on. Thanks to everybody else putting up with me. Thanks to the side chat. Hopefully I can make it on here every once in a while, but I normally work Sunday nights.
Yep, awesome to have you, brother. And anytime that you're going to be off, just let me know and I'll shoot you a link. Sure.
Hey, Mike, is that the kid number 3?
Yes.
Yeah, you better be working Sundays.
Yeah.
Have you figured out what's causing those things to happen yet, or?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what's causing it, man. Something in the water.
I think we should start a GoFundMe account for a Milsurp Mike to get a vasectomy.
This still wouldn't help.
No,
Yeah.
if it's in the water, it's in the water. That's it.
Okay. Well, here's an idea. Tell your wife, no bath, just shower.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
All right, guys.
It's
Well,
good.
I appreciate y'all showing up. Appreciate everyone here, everyone in the side chat. Make sure you guys all have a safe new year. Don't drink and drive. Don't be stupid, and make sure you have fun. And we'll see you next week.
Happy New Year.